So, have you ever thought, oh dear, I have crashed my financial plan? Well, if you have, not to worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can restart after what seems like a disastrous plan regarding your finances. If we haven't met before, my name is Beatrice Yakubu. I'm the founder of Simply Family Business, where I help entrepreneurs find clients as well as mentor people to start their businesses. I'm also the founder of Win with Money podcast, where I help you in these videos like this to understand how to manage your money and indeed work towards becoming financially independent. I am also the author of this book, Win the Money Game with Your Child, How to Become Financially Independent with the help of your child in the digital space, and Win the Money Game online, how to start an online business using my Simply Family Business process. Now, let's come back to this video. I'm going to be sharing with you 4 key points that will help you if you think that you have actually crashed your financial plan. Let's get started with point number 1. We have to start with, why do you need to restart? What happened? Why do you think that you need to restart, or what made the plan, your current plan, not working? I want to share with you that there are 2 people in this category. Number 1 is if you are somebody who perhaps hasn't started with a financial plan. There is no time, it is not late. There's always a saying that Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, started in his 60s, and McDonald's, Ray Kroc, started in his late 50s. So there are examples of people who have started late and have actually made it happen as far as money and building impact is concerned. But if you are in that stage, why you haven't started, or who haven't started now thinking about money, you are just that person who works and make your money either in business or formal work. You work and then the money comes in, your bills are paid, and indeed what is left is yours to spend. There is a problem with that, and unfortunately a lot of people in the world are in this category, and that is the purpose of these videos that I bring out. In fact, by the way, if you haven't subscribed before, you need to subscribe to the channel, because that helps me out. Like and share the video to help the algorithm, and so that when I post videos like this, you can have the opportunity of finding out about the awesome ideas that can help you out with your financial planning. So let's come back to, if you haven't planned, or if you don't have a plan. And many people indeed don't, so there is not judgment on your part, but indeed you need to get started or get thinking about it, in the sense that this is how life works. We are born, we grow up, we go to school, we do everything, and then we get to work, and then we work to sustain our lives. And at some point we can't work anymore because our bodies are fragile. So if you are working and your work is dependent on the money that you bring in, guess what? That is active income. Watch my other video about that. That is active income, in the sense that you have to input your trade your time for the money, your time and skills for the money. And of course, there will come a time that you cannot work, and indeed you will need to still sustain yourself financially. So think about it and why you haven't started. Indeed, it could be something, they call it what, your childhood programming, still running the show in the back and thinking that, things will always work out. Yes, indeed, it's possible. But of course, why don't you plan if you have the opportunity to do that? If you are also, the second person is the person that I'm going to be talking to as far as this video is concerned, is those that are like myself. You have thought about becoming financially independent. You have even started a journey, but unfortunately along the way you have invested money into things that perhaps hasn't brought out the reward that you were expecting. It could be courses that you decided to invest in, it could be business that you decided to invest in, or it could be growth, some growth plan, business, money growth plan, stocks, bonds, and shares that you decided to invest in without doing due diligence. All of these are things, or crypto, all of these are things that actually can bring, could bring disappointing results. And if that happens, sometimes there's a tendency to actually stop the plan altogether and then just think that it doesn't work. While this is life, you have started, and that is it. The fact that you started means that you are already ahead of a lot of people in this world, because many people don't think about that. And if you think about how businesses work, and how even people who have become successful, if you follow people's stories, they have failed several times before they get to where they are. So possibly you have lots of chance to be able to redeem yourself. And that is why we're talking about in this video. Those are the points in terms of what then do you do, because you can't just mope around and then not learn anything about this, and then you know, just carry on as if it doesn't matter to you. It does matter, because the fact that you are thinking about becoming financially independent, it is something that will never leave you. And by the way, it's an amazing thought, because without that, what would you do? What would you do with your life when you grow older? And of course, we need to also think about impact in life as we grow older too. So after you have identified why you need to start over, the second point is your mindset. You need to think, okay, what made me do this? Why have I not started? If you're somebody who hasn't started, why have I not started? And if you're somebody who have started and have lost the, shall I say, the path, what happened? You need to kind of sit down and think about what happened. Is it that you didn't do your due diligence? Is it that the strategy was too advanced for you? Is it that you were unlucky? Because sometimes luck counts as well. Whatever you think is the reason, you have to identify it before you can move on. Sometimes there is a saying that our childhood upbringing and the things that we learn as we were children are in our subconscious mind, and money is one of the things. So growing up and listening to things that unsupportive comments and behavior from our parents and adults around us has ingrained in us some attitudes that we don't even know. These are the reasons. So money doesn't grow on trees. You know, rich people. So for example, I think I've mentioned this in some of my videos, looking at somebody on social media actually enjoying themselves and having loads of money. Some people cringe about it, and some people make comments that is unsupportive. So if you are that person who sees a rich person and then you feel in a certain uncomfortable way, just ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is it because the person has that I don't have, or is because they are bad? And even if they are bad, it's on to them anyway. It's none of your business. So just think about yourself and what you want for your life and how you want it in an ethical way, you know, and then obviously your thought will be processed in a way that is supportive enough to help you get your financial plans together. So mindset is key. And indeed, the next point will be your relationship. What relationship would you now form that will help you? So here's the thing. Perhaps you know that the saying that your network is your net worth, which is very, very true. You are also the average of the 5 people that you associate with. If you are associating with people who don't think about becoming financially independent, guess what they are going to be doing? They are going to be in the mood of spending, and that wouldn't be your strategy. Or if you are thinking about investing in something that could help you, and especially after you have lost money, there's going to be red flags here and there. So you need to associate with people, number one, who would help you become accountable. And it is not necessarily your relations. In fact, there's a saying that your relations has two agenda when it comes to your progress. There are two. One of it is that they are not thinking the way you think. In fact, this is something that I had to learn. I used to really get wind up with some certain people, that why they can't see certain things or why they don't think a certain way. But of course, your thoughts are not their thoughts until you get to that level of actually accepting that how I am thinking is me. And then of course, whatever they are thinking is them. And with that, you would have a peace of mind. So your thoughts are not their thoughts. And the ideas that are coming into your mind, in fact, I think it was one lawyer that mentioned that to me and really got my attention. He said, this thing that you are going to do, and you feel that people are not supporting you, the revelation is not given to them. So they can't support you. They can't see it. Until you sell it to them, they can't see it. But sometimes it's quite challenging to actually sell new ideas when it hasn't come to pass, and especially when there are failures involved along the way. Obviously, it's going to even dent your credibility more and more. But what then you can do is that find people online, because people online, there are so many. That's the good thing about this day and age, in the sense that there are people online who can help you, or who you can associate with in anything. And I have made a lot of friends. I have made even lots of close friends online through that, and that's amazing. Find people, accountability partners that you can check in regularly about that. In fact, I haven't finished the point of a family. It's either that they're not thinking you're thinking, and for that reason, when you think about certain things, it will feel like, how dare you think about this? Then the second point is that some are genuinely concerned about the fact that they want to protect you because they can't see what you see, and for that, in their mind, it doesn't exist. And what are you seeing, or why are you even talking about becoming financially independent? In our generations, nobody has ever made perhaps 6 figures, and what are you talking about? Or in their mind, for example, for nurses, how much can a nurse make? I think it will be 60-70K per annum in nursing. Like, that is the matron, for example. Doctors will make what? Top consultants 100, highest 150. So if you are associating with people who are talking about making that kind of money in a month, it doesn't even compute in people's minds. So just so that you are aware that certain times there are certain things that it doesn't compute, and for that reason you would be warned not to not to get into certain areas, especially when it comes to business, for example. So think about that as family. But then you have the opportunity to actually find your tribe. You know, if you want anything in this day and age, or any particular group, you can find them. You can find people who can help with your finances, budgeting. You can find people regardless of whatever you desire to do as far as this project is concerned, especially with regards to your finances. You can find people online. You can also find mentors online. So you can do paid mentorship, or just even listening to people who are, communicating this on a day-to-day basis would help you. And even if you just take one point and focus on it, is certainly going to be of help to you in terms of rebuilding and restarting and rebuilding your finance. Last but not the least is now the financial planning. You need to plan to be able to make this work. Again, revisit what happened. And as the Bajanista lady, Tiffany Aliche, she mentioned about the fact that when she was, she did well for herself in her youth, early 20s, she was able to buy a condo and living a financially independent life, until someone showed up and told her that she could make whatever amount of money, and then she used her credit card to borrow $30,000, and then that disappeared, and got her into a financial black hole. But guess what? She rose up again. She made a plan. And indeed, here we are. She has been able to build a multi-million-dollar company, helping people to understand their finances and helping people to be able to get to financial wholeness. So having a plan is important, as well as thinking about it. With the plan, what would be your goal? How much do you want to save? What will be your budget? How can you make sure that you are following the numbers and actually working on it, and making sure that you are having accountability as far as progress is concerned? These are all things that you can do to be able to get back on track and to be able to get the numbers working for you. And indeed, you'll be able to share your story, not in a distant future, or when everything is now working for you. Because guess what? As far as life is concerned, and as far as our personal plan is concerned, we will certainly, you will make the plan, but it's not every plan that will work accordingly. But of course, keeping up with it, and when it doesn't work as you decided or as you plan, you don't need to throw your hands in the air. Of course, you need to restart again. Wait, number one, why you need to restart, thinking about your mindset, building the right relationship around you, and having a solid financial plan. So that is it from me for this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it. I'll come your way once again. Take care. Bye-bye.